Okay, quick look through. What day are we on? I forgot to write down yesterday's closes, didn't I? Tuesday's end of day closing screens. So, interesting market. Very interesting. You know, the hardest part of doing what I do here as the trading bases, the hardest part for me is that I can't get my head around why it's so hard to get any kind of interaction in a really interesting, I think this is a really interesting market. I think, potentially primed here. It can go either way. But, when the market's been bad for the UK, and I won't say it's been bad, but, we haven't had a rally yet. We haven't had a real sort of trending rally, have we, in the UK? And the UK markets have just been perking up, haven't they? And I know there's been a few false dawns, but it's the hardest bit for me because I know that if I share my content when the market's fantastic, I get a glut of members who just come and at the worst possible time. They don't learn anything about sort of account management and position size. They're just gunslinging, in the heat of the fantastic market, and everything seems to work, and then they all disappear again. You know what I mean? That's the hardest thing to find those people who are actually interested in trying to trade a market swing, a market, a bull market. But there's no nothing's guaranteed, but after bear markets you usually get a bull market, and we're definitely in one, but we haven't had technically we're set up, but we haven't had a big trending market yet. So it's I always find it quite odd how people don't even turn up for any kind of sort of interesting content when the market is like this. So I suppose it's just human nature, isn't it? I'm going to just thank everyone who added to the members help channel. There's some for those setting up SharePad, I'm going to have a look through these myself as well. Thanks, James. James, above and beyond, always does a big piece, and thanks for that help. I'll just shout out to new members out there. Don't be afraid of asking questions out there, because we've got a really helpful bunch. But just please do acknowledge when people go out of the way to help other people. I get a lot of messages sometimes, and sometimes it feels a bit like you go out your way and you don't you don't get any reply sometimes. So always try and acknowledge when when people have gone out of the way for you. It's a really helpful chat group. Don't be afraid of asking things in the members help channel. And I'll just get rid of my phone. We've got a few members who are just in the background and haven't asked any questions, and that, you see, that's all I'm saying. But yeah, I'm going to have another chip away when in the right headspace for opening up the SharePad. I'll have a chip away and I'll have a look at those settings again. I'm hoping they're going to pull the finger out and actually start to work on some of those requests. But not seeing anything come through yet, are we? I'll be moving to TradingView if there's basically if I can't use the SharePad, it will be what it will be. So let's just buzz through these screens, see what gapped up today. I've covered the Nvidias and the US swing world in the previous video I've just done, so I won't go through the markets again. There's a gap above us. We gapped straight past it. We still haven't. The US, the Nasdaq and the Q still hasn't traded that channel. So that gap channel. So I think we'll get a little bit more clued up after it tests that area. Into the closing highs. Just fly through these. There's not going to be much on the screens today in the UK. I've already had a quick look through them actually. I've been down the GTRS, so I didn't see anything that really jumped out at me. I haven't been right through all the swing screens, so I just went down the top end of the GTRS. Life insurance. Option technology. Yeah, you know, I'd like to see a base on this, like I said before, but you know, we talked about that on the swing day, didn't we? But I'll just punch it in anyway. ATG. New closing high on CNC there. Couple more in this one. MAI. Just punch this one in as well. It's obviously very kind of choppy, but and sloth-like, I will say. It doesn't really MAI doesn't really do much, does it, over time for my methodology. BA, obviously, you know, look at it on the next retrace. It will hit the screens. Breakout first retrace, and then you get a big breakout. First retrace was around this area here. Went a little bit lower and basically through another swing point. Carnival. It was only a shallow pullback. We hit the screens on the 9th of the 1st. You can go back and have a look at that. Those are in backtest mode. And this RPI, it's kind of a bit up in the sky above mean trend, this one. But it's light on the forward numbers for me, but I don't know when the forward I don't know when the prelims are, but must be soon, you'd think. The back end of February by the looks of it. Into the swing points. Lots of investment trusts will fly through those. 19 of them. And just go through all the swing points and have a look at what's in here. Yeah, Michaelmas Bridge just going sideways still. It's hard to get too excited that, you know, MBH. It's hard to get too excited about, you know, basically something that's what's just pottering along. Technical term, pottering along. Yeah, I traded it out of this little run here. I actually bought it. Where did I buy it? I don't know if I bought it on the pullback on the swing point, but I know I was adding to it. The news actually came out on this day, I think, on this one. I added to it. It was a good trade, but it was still a sloth. I only rode it up until here, and then I was out of it here. It's good though. In the history of the results there, up in the cause. Yeah, Halma. You know, I just love stuff like this. I know it's psychologically difficult, but I just, you know, I'm in this stock. I added to it on where did I add to it? I added to it somewhere around here that day there. And it moves out, pulls back in, moves up, and it comes all the way back in. And I don't know what that is in percent terms. It's only 6-7%. And then where is it trading now? You know, this is why we trade our methodologies and not our emotions. So there's Ballygift there. It's probably one of the only ones what would touch the top end of the GTRS. Got no forward numbers on it, so answers on a postcard. Where are we there? Interim. Probably get an idea off that. So, those who like the truss, PGH, I'll just punch this one in as well. PGH. Yeah, nothing really to see there for me, but non-life insurance. Right move. Obviously, you know, this was that big, deep pullback. Lots of cushion on that one. That's us. It's a lose less scenario. I'll just punch it in. ESC. Technically a bit beat up, this one, so it's quite a way down the list, but looks okay, doesn't it? I mean, the thing with this is, you might say, well, why is that so far down the list? Well, the secondary trend's 0 for me. It's because my secondary trend is set up to find those nice clean first pullbacks. And when you get into a correction bull sort of area, it kind of destroys the secondary trend. So that's why these are always going to be very low on the list, but they always show up in the screen. So, I know a few people are riding this one. I took a trade on it, and it hit my my exit. Being a bit I won't say creative, but just slightly. What we got here? RPI. Let's just punch this one in again. RPI. So that's what's in the screens today. There's not much to look at. The end of day just had one second. Oh, Mars. MARS. Did we miss that one? Marston's. Yeah, it's hard for me to get too excited about Marston's. I said that every time. I have traded it before. It was all the way back here. But yeah, hard to get too excited about that one, but punch it in for you all the same. Fully listed small cap these days. Anybody got anything they want to look at? A lot of content again today, so this over the week, the rolling week, a lot of content over the rolling week. So if not, we'll quickly have a look at the US market again. Up into that gap here, it's a gap fill right there. It'll be traded at some point anyway, but at least getting there and getting that sort of obvious throwback out of the equation. If they do roll over from here, we'll see where they roll to. Just good to get the obvious out of the way. Gold up day, but sort of, most people would call a double top. A little pop in oil today. Let's just quickly go up to my delayed Bitcoin screen. And then, yeah, I will leave it there. We'll see what tomorrow brings. Cheers all.